How are these 2 weeks up already? You'll be pleased to hear that I spent most of it recovering from COVID along with my 2 sons. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that next week I am back as normal. But for now, our final Flat Earth Friday guest content creator is a new commenter in the Flat Earth debunking community. He's tackled the likes of Nathan Thompson, Sleeping Warrior, and Nathan Oakley already. And he's a little bit triggered.
We got row 777 here. She's yelling poppycock.
Poppycock.
Dave Wise with his backwards cap. And the flat earth sun, moon, and zodiac clock app. And we got prime time. Alex Stein, number 99. He's on the grind all the time. And Jaron from Jaronism, keeping all these babies in line.
Hi, I'm the Triggered Limey. First, I would like to thank Simon Dan for inviting me to do a video on his channel. I would also like to assure him and all of you that, unlike on my channel, I will be keeping the language tame. Today, we're going to be looking into some fairly recent and downright disgusting tactics that flat earthers are employing to try and boost their numbers. Because actually proving flat earth or just disproving the globe really isn't working out too well for those muppets. That clip you saw at the beginning was the quite uncomfortable intro to Jaronism's Baby Truther show. This series ran for 30 or so episodes before being discontinued after episode 29 received some pretty heavy backlash. As painful as it is, let's just watch a little bit more of that intro.
Sorry kids, things ain't always gonna be what they seem. They start you off early, got you thinking that we one team and we should live, breathe, believe the same one thing. Skip the lecture, I'm a director making my own scene. When you find out, only certain people get a ticket to the hideout. Waiting for us to go put the fires in the skies out. Because we ain't no spinning globe, it's time you find out. Now open up the crib and let your mind out.
I might be going out on a limb here, but this intro seems to be saying that the things that kids are being taught nowadays are lies. Not that flat earthers really have the right to say anything, because they have shown for a long time that they really don't understand the things that we learnt in high school, which actually may be part of the reason that they're so easily conscripted into the flat earth movement. However, the things that we learnt in school regarding the shape of the earth are all backed by scientific evidence. It's not some giant conspiracy that they, also known as them, created to stop us knowing the truth. In fact, flat earthers have failed to give us a reason why this would even be done, as well as failing to debunk the globe. Heck, they can't even reach a consensus on their own beliefs. The only thing that they can agree on is that they are the woke people, and the rest of us are just asleep to the truth of the world. And I'm not gonna lie, I am very creeped out by the CGI babies in that video. Maybe I watched Child's Play too many times as a youth, but yeah, just, creepy. Still, having that as well as young children dancing in the background definitely seems to be them trying to make their show more relatable to kids, which I just find that to be very heinous. Of course, luckily, most kids are way smarter than your average flat earther, so civilization should be fine.
Can I show you something, Dave? So this is the scientific method, right? We've all been taught this. Purpose, research, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, conclusion. I saw somebody the other day. Look at the first letter of each word. So P, R, skip the H and go E, A, C, H. It's preach. These even encoded preaching into their scientific method. That's hilarious.
That's good. That's religion.
It is a religion.
Remember,
with holy man.
You can also make eparch out of it, which is the chief bishop of a province of the Orthodox Church. So flipping what? If we add the S from scientific, we can do parches. Add the M from method, and we've got shampers. People can look those up themselves if they want to. The point is that the human mind is equipped to find patterns in pretty much anything. However, most minds are able to tell when what they're thinking is just a load of, sorry Dan, close call. Anyway, moving on.
Yo guys, let me give you a flyer real quick. Here. I love you.
I'm sure that by now most of us have seen this video where Nathan Thompson actually thought it was a good idea to go to a school and yell at the children saying that the earth is flat. I honestly don't know what goes through their heads.
I'm gonna flashback them. Guys, you don't live on a ball. The earth is flat. I got flyers for you right here. You can check out my YouTube, okay? Some of them picked them up. Hey, give them to the teachers. Hey, you can verify everything on my flyer.
Maybe they believe in their delusion that much that they honestly think they're helping kids. Still, I think anyone that's ever looked into this sort of thing on YouTube, the apparent university of choice for most flat earthers, will know that Nathan really doesn't make claims that he can prove.
Hey guys, you're not on a ball in space. The earth is flat. Large bodies of water do not curve.
To be fair, I honestly think that most flat earthers cap off their scientific and mathematic understanding at maybe the end of primary, beginning of middle school. Let's hear a little from one of flat earth's more prominent fraggles.
All children naturally assume and believe we live on a level, stationary Earth, with the sun, moon, and stars revolving over and around us, because that is what we actually experience every day of our lives.
You know what, Eric, you're probably right there. Most children are going to see the world that way when they're young, because they are so tiny, and really all they care about is their immediate surrounding. However, as they get a bit older, they're gonna learn that this just isn't the case. And in school, they even get taught how to test it themselves. Maybe you were sick that day. It's the arrogance that they understand everything about a subject when they've barely scratched the surface, and this is just where they go wrong. Maybe if they just tried some of the methods that we can use to correctly ascertain the shape and size of the Earth, or they can just stick to ignoring the facts.
Austin Whitsitt, from Whitsitt Gets It,
Yes.
who's so awesome and one of my favorite flat earthers of all time and really great debater, understands all of the logical fallacies. He posted on Facebook, show me your favorite flat earth model, like a depiction of what flat earth could be, because obviously none of us know what it actually looks like.
We actually do. It is an oblate spheroid, and we even have pictures to prove it. I would also like to address the background that she's using for that video call. You know, maybe it is, as a lot of us do, admiring the beauty of an aurora, something that is actually caused due to Earth's magnetic field, which is very closely linked to its rotation. If the Earth stopped spinning, we would not see these beautiful displays. But the Earth does spin, something that flat earthers don't believe in either.
We found that we were picking up a drift, a 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. Some flat earthers, like Bob here, have even proved Earth's rotation, and some have even proved Earth curvature. They just fail to accept the results.
If you're seeing through this hole, through the next hole, and seeing the light at the backboard, or 17 feet off the water, the Earth is flat. If he's holding it up at 23 feet high and we're seeing the light, well, that's because the Earth's curved. So I should only be able to see it when it's at 17 feet. Okay, go ahead and drive down there, Enrique. You're going to hold the light there. Enrique, how high is your light?
17 feet.
I mean, it's as, we don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting.
It certainly is. It's interesting how you just can't accept any experiment that proves you're wrong. And I thought you guys were supposed to be the woke people. So now that we've established that flat earthers don't really live in reality, let's take a look at some of the disgusting stuff they're now doing to try and recruit children to their cause. Sleeping Warrior.
This is an egg.
Yes, that Sleeping Warrior is posing as a child on TikTok. He's using this, guys, to interact with other children and tell them that he's learned that the Earth is flat, that he even questioned his teacher on certain issues and the teacher wasn't able to answer. If you were so confident about your model, or lack thereof, but if you were that confident that the Earth was flat, why would you need to be so deceitful and dishonest? And yes, this is a strong accusation. Where's the proof? Well, Sleeping Warrior actually told us himself. This all began from one conversation, us finding out about Sleeping Warrior. One person stated, "I don't even know a single person who changed their mind after Shane revealed his true colours." Sleeping Warrior responded, "I don't believe they are his true colours. He simply sold out. He'll tell them gravity is a force if they pay him." A new person replied to Sleeping Warrior, "So you don't see the viewing figures going down on the Flurf conspiracy videos? The flatulence leaving your sinking ship are not going to advertise the fact, are they? And face a pack of cornered rats? It's not difficult." And then Sleeping Warrior responds, "I see them going down on YouTube, yes. TikTok is where it's at now. Lots of children on there we are targeting. YouTube is dead because of censorship. If it were really a bull, censorship would not be necessary." Needless to say, this response from Sleeping Warrior got a lot of attention. Many people replied to him. Sleeping Warrior then responded to one of these replies by saying, "I've been targeting the kids for years. If you think that sounds dodgy, it suggests more about you than it does me, mate. Best thing is, we are on there and applying the troll tactics learnt on YouTube. We act as children children and talk about how our teacher was cornered when we asked him these questions. So you scummy trolls will never be able to find us. It's beautiful. When the time comes, you will realise it's us. But right now, just know that we are all over TikTok and telling the kids how Newton is not science anymore, that Einstein is, and both are a false dichotomy and correlative only. The egg test is getting around, and the kids get it instantly. After another reply, Sleeping Warrior responds, no more sus than locking them in safe premises whilst they are brainwashed by that parents have no idea what they are being fed. I'm kind of starting to think that Sleeping Warrior hated school because, well, maybe he was bullied and obviously didn't understand what he was being taught. But parents actually do have an idea of what their kids are being taught because they learnt it as well. Anyway, back to it. We know they are fed that gravity is a force when it isn't. We know they are not told about Einstein. We know they are not told that this is contentious. We know they are not told there are better scientific explanations instead of gravity. That's brainwashing. Riley, I'm starting to think maybe you never finished middle school or primary school even over here. Because yeah, we are taught that stuff way before we finished secondary school. You know what? That is interesting. That does say something about you, Riley. And better explanations than gravity. No matter how hard you try, your relative density disequilibrium nonsense is not going to stick. He starts his next response with the same first two sentences, but he then goes on to say, when they are told that gravity isn't a force and that F equals mg always results in weightlessness because anything times zero is zero. Riley, gravity isn't zero. He continues, and then shown them the egg test. They instantly get it, and they're shown how the school crosswires them with Newton. I literally hotwire that crosswiring and send them back to their teacher to ask why aren't they told about Einstein and RDD, relative density disequilibrium. And when they say their teacher does not know that's his job to teach the syllabus, they realise they are only being told a partisan indoctrination. They all get it too. Mass times zero equals zero. You bluffers don't get it. That's the problem with brainwashing. You don't even realise you are brainwashed. You think you're all wise and intelligent, but an 11-year-old can corner you without even trying now. Riley, you can't even corner someone if you do try. And considering that you used to say that 5 times 0 equals 5, I wouldn't go around pretending you're the smart guy. Anyway, back to the video. Absolutely horrendous. Sadly, this isn't illegal in the UK, at least at this time. I really think it should be, because as far as I'm concerned, it is grooming, just towards a different end. Another flat earther that has admitted to doing this and has even been seen streaming on TikTok to children is Spurs Chemo. Many of the people watching Chemo on TikTok are children. Chemo basically just misrepresents, saying that established science and the stuff they get taught in school mainly is complete BS. However, he has no right to say this because he doesn't understand the science that kids are being taught in school. Enter our favourite teacher, Conspiracy Cats, to ask Chemo a few questions.
Hey, well, if I was to give you now 3 GCSE level science questions, so you can show all the kids that are watching you on TikTok now just how genius you are at science, because this is a level of science that the kids on TikTok watching you are studying at school. If I was to give you 3 GCSE science questions, could you show all the kids listening what a scientific genius you are and answer them? Or, while those kids are listening, you're going to find a way of worming out of that because you know you can't answer them?
Well, I can try, for sure. I mean, I'm not claiming to be a scientist of any kind. All I do is just simply ask questions myself, Conspiracy Cats. But yeah, fire away. Maybe the audience here could probably answer it. Maybe I can answer it. I mean, we'll see where it goes. So yeah, fire away.
Okay, would you like one on gas pressure?
Gas pressure, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, simple GCSE question. Can you just explain Dalton's law of partial pressure to me, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Without Googling, you got 10 seconds.
Well, that's an easy question. I mean, you're asking me easy question. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's totally Googling.
No, that's very simple to understand. So it states that it's a mixture of non-reacting gases. It's a mixture of non-reacting gases. Yeah. Okay, we've got that.
That's 10 seconds. You had to Google it. You failed it.
I answered it. That's a mixture of non-reacting gases.
Like a lot of flat earthers, Chemo states that he just asks questions. Unlike a lot of flat earthers, he also admits that he doesn't really understand science. But even admitting it, this is still one of my biggest grievances with flat earth. It consists of people that start from a place of distrust in modern science, the government, certain people, etc. So why do they push their opinion so hard if they don't have the scientific understanding nothing to back it up. And again, most of them haven't even tried experiments that easily show we live on a sphere. Now, I won't show the entire video here. Needless to say, after a bit of Googling, beating around the bush, and then just deflecting, it was made very clear to everyone watching that he just isn't qualified to be telling people that their understanding of our world is wrong. I actually think that Kat said it best.
I hope they are listening to see that you, who are telling children everything they're learning in school is wrong, I hope that they can see that you have no idea about what's being taught in school. You haven't got a clue. You are clueless.
I couldn't agree more, and I actually think this applies to every flat earther out there. Many of you claim to understand our own model better than we do. I am telling you now that if that were the case, you wouldn't be flat earthers. I know that this video is more of a rant than a debunk, but the fact that they're targeting children infuriates me. If you'd like to see more of what I do, please consider visiting my channel. I do try to explain where flat earthers go wrong, as well as sometimes other conspiracies. So my channel does also include some debunking and not just character assassinations. However, I do also basically go after anyone that's a terrible person. Please be warned though that the language on my channel is a wee bit stronger, but we definitely do have a lot of fun. I'd like to once again thank Simon and Dan for allowing me to share, and I hope that I see you all soon. You know what? Watching all of these videos, it's way too triggering. I just can't hold it anymore. What the actual